What's up, everybody? This is George C. Samuels, and you are watching The It Will Come Show, episode 6.
The eyes may be able to see, but without a heart, you cannot feel.
As per usual, here's the Daily Scrum. Somewhere there. And today we're actually going to go over a few things that's been happening in recent events, and that includes the recent talk from our Australian Prime Minister, Malcolm Turnbull, an event coming up for that startup show, and innovation culture in general. Now, with Malcolm Turnbull, he came into power not too long ago, for those of you who are watching who aren't based in Australia or don't know what's going on here. And it's been an exciting time because he has a background as an entrepreneur, as an investor, and he's really brought a renewed sense of hope for a lot of startups in the local community, especially around innovation. The innovation culture, because Australia has relied heavily on its resources, now that things are changing and we are no longer pinned to or dependent on resources or that boom, it's really the right time to reinvent ourselves. And culture is a huge thing that, when dealing with communities, that is something that's still quite vague, but people still feel and know that it's important. And when it comes to reshaping culture, you really do have to have long-term strategies. Although I am optimistic, I am also wary of the challenges that lay ahead as a country when it comes to doing what Malcolm Turnbull is wanting to do. You know, there are some things around democracy as well, the fact that you can only be in term for a certain period of time, that doesn't really allow for true long-term change sometimes, right? Because once one prime minister comes in or a president comes in, they have a certain period of time to make those changes, and if they can't make those changes in that time, then the next person who comes in can reverse everything that was attempted previously. So, although those are some of my concerns, I am a generally optimistic guy, so I'm pretty confident that Malcolm Turnbull is the right man at the right time for Australia in terms of reinventing ourselves and ushering a new age that is more dependent on the innovation and the creative imagination of the Australian people. For those of you who don't know, Australia, specifically CSIRO, was actually responsible for what you now know as Wi-Fi and so many other great inventions. And I think it is about time that these inventors and these Australian minds do get the recognition that they deserve. So it is an exciting time in the startup world. If you are based in Australia, a lot of times startups have gone to the Silicon Valley to set up shop or continue things, and we've just got a long way to go. But these are definitely the right first steps. And while we're on the topic of startups, I would like to also give a shout out to that startup show and the crew gang there. I am one of the ambassadors for that startup show, and on the 16th of December, if you're in Melbourne, I highly recommend that you join us as we celebrate the end of the season 2 that startup show season, and it's going to be great. Another thing just to leave with you for the day as well, when it comes to innovation and ideas, what ideas do you have at the moment that could be of use or could be beneficial to others? And if you have an idea that could be turned into a business, have you tried? Have you attempted? There's never been a better time as an entrepreneur to really put your creativity to use, as a lot more larger companies are starting to restructure, maybe even let people go. And just the internet, you have everything at your disposal to make your dreams come true. And with that, remember, it will come.
The eyes may be able to see, but without a heart, you cannot feel.